Hey guys, it's Lisa back with another video from Lisa Wise Designs, and today let's continue using our scraps and make a couple of cards. Well, 3 cards actually. We're going to make 3 different size cards using the same products. Let's just dive right in. Let me show you what I've got. I love this EK Success Punch. It is really versatile. It's one of those big ones that does a flower, a daisy, it's got a little dot here, it's got the leaf. I have used it for many years, and I'll link that down below. And what I have done is, here's the leaves. I've kind of gone in rainbow order, and I picked out some scraps out of my scrap bin. And the way I keep my scraps is I have these tiny files. Let me show you. I'll try to link things down below, and let's see if I can get it with my camera here. But on these 12 by 12 folders, I've just got the names of what color is in here. So I just went through my files. I have about, I think, eight different ones. It's got blues and blacks and reds and pinks are together, and yellows and oranges. I do white and cream together. That one, of course, was like the browns. And I just pulled out a rainbow selection and just punched them. So you can see I've got some pink, red, orange, yellow, this green is kind of an aqua bluish, and then a navy blue and a purple and a really, really deep purple, almost a brownish black. So here's the rainbow color. I did it since I wasn't going to use the leaves. I went ahead and put them out there to see if I liked them. And this is going to be so cute. I love black and white cards with a pop of color, and they're all over Pinterest. So I decided to just kind of make my own and see how this would work out. So I've cut down some card bases. We're going to make an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4, by 5 1/2 when you get done with the front. An A7, which is a 5 by 7, and a slim card. So this is a regular business size envelope. So the card will be a 4 by 9 is where I cut mine down to. All right, so let's just dive right in. We'll start from the smallest and go to the largest. So what I thought I would do that's the 5 by 7. I said, let's start with this A2, or the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 front. So here's my envelope. So I cut a card base down 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and then scored it in the middle. I cut a piece of black. That's going to be my frame for the top, and that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I cut this little piece of white, which I want to go here, and that's 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. And then I'm going to kind of I'm going to stamp on this and kind of line up my daisies here. So since I've got a pretty substantial piece of white, we can use a substantial stamp. So I went into my stash and I found this really big stamp. This is a May Made It All About You is the name of it. Look how big this U is. So this would be really cute for a encouragement. So you got this. You do it. You are my heart. You are beautiful, amazing. So I think this would be a really cool encouragement card. So we can do the U and put the got this underneath it just to say, thinking of someone type card. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use my trusty VersaFine Onyx Black because it makes such a really good impression, especially with a big stamp. Pull this off here and get this big U. You have to do it from diagonal to get it to fit, even on my big block here. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is kind of season my stamp. I haven't used it in a long time. So I'm just getting a lot of ink on it and getting a scrap piece of paper and just making sure that it's going to stamp out well. Okay, we'll try that again. Go straight down, pressure, let it transfer straight up. That looks pretty good. Only had a little bitty issue right here. So now I'm going to take this piece of white, do this again, make sure This inked up well. Sometimes these bigger stamps can be a little unruly. And if I can't get exactly what I need, I'll get out my Misty. But we should be okay. So, excuse me if my head gets in the way. I kind of want to get this centered. I'm going to straight down. Put a little pressure, but I'm not going to wobble it. Shake it back and forth. And I'm going to give it enough time to transfer. And then I'm going to pull it right back straight up. That's pretty good. I'm good with that. And now I'm going to get me another smaller block, but that's longer. And I think I am going to put this, got this. So you got this. Put that on there. Yeah, looks really good. So I'm just going to put this in the bottom right. Cool. Love it. So my vision for this one is to have just the daisies going across where this meets. So let me push this out of the way. And I can glue this down. So I have a couple of spots where it's not totally black, so I'm just going to take my Sharpie, and it's a really good color match for that onyx black. Yeah, that makes me feel a little better. I don't even know if you can see that. So as you can see on that punch, it punches out a big flower, a daisy type flower. It punches out like this circle, and then it gives you a leaf. So what I did on most of them, I went ahead and even though they're monochromatic, which means, you know, I used all the same color, it gives it some dimension by putting the daisy into the big flower. So I'm going to finish that one off with you here, this little purple one. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of the daisy, kind of line it up with the bigger flower. And press it down just in the center. I really don't want to glue all those petals. Plus, if they pop up a little bit, it's actually a good look. It gives some dimension, some shadow. Then I'm going to put some glue right in the center. And I'm going to use my little jewel picker to pick up the center. There. Makes it a little easier than using my fingers. Then I'm going to use, this is what, my pokey tool, to do the jewel. So here's some jewels I had already used on another project. So I'm just kind of using the leftovers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pokey tool and go up under that jewel and slide it off on top of it. And then use that to kind of help me place it without using my fingers, my bigger fingers here, to try to get that done. Easy peasy. Easier than trying to use the tweezers, in my opinion, or my big fingers. So now I've got 2 of these made, and then one that's just a daisy with it. And I need to put my pen back. So let's start assembling this one. This is going to be simple cards, but beautiful. I think black and white with a pop of color is really kind of elegant. So I used white card bases and then black on top, and then just kind of gave them some layers. And if you want to do more layers, you can actually, use some foam tape. I'm kind of keep mine a little simple because I want them to go through the mail well this time. Okay, just going to leave about 1/8 of an inch all the way around the top and the sides. Like that. Got this. And then I'm going to use these daisies. Now I'm not sure how many will fit. So let's just go through the rainbow here and see. I may not be able to use the purple and the greenish. So if I do like red, orange, yellow, green, yeah, I think these are a little big to use more than this, but that's good because I've still got odd numbers, right? Isn't that cute? That's going to be simple and cute. So this is another card that I think that you could make in mass quantities to mail out to folks for encouragement. So I'm just going to line up this first one, the edge of the card, those petals, so that it'll fit in an A2 size envelope. And I'm going to go through here and just glue my daisies down, and I'll be right back. So as I'm gluing down, what I decided to do is kind of smash them together so maybe I could get that last purple one on here. So where the petal stopped is where I put the next middle. So right where that petal stopped in yellow, I put the green middle down. And so hopefully now I've got room for this purple to kind of complete my rainbow. And it's almost the right length. So I'm gonna call it good and put it down here. Kind of line this purple one up. And I will link that EK Success Punch below. This is very versatile. Isn't that cute? It's just nice and simple with that pop of color with the black and the white. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so there's that one. So this will be the 5x7 card. So this one I made a base. Cut it at 7x10, and then of course scored it in the middle to make a 5x7 base. And then this piece of white is 4x5.5. And then another piece of black, that's 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. And I'll have all this down, the dimensions down in the details below this video. Let me see my whole card here. I have to move my flowers. So I kind of built this one that's got bigger borders on it because it is a bigger card. But you see how this kind of looks like a Polaroid? I thought that might be cute. And then we can put our sentiment down here at the bottom on this white. Let me put my pen and my glue. There we go. So here's my scratched piece of paper. I can use this again. So let me look back through my stamps and decide what we can do on this one. I have the stamp set that I love. That's May May Stamp Set All Occasions, because it's got so many different sentiments we can use on this one. So on this, I really think that I want to do another encouragement card. So this is just a little note, and I've used that one many times before, so I think it is perfect for just writing, hey, just a little note. So I'm going to go back, and this is how I clean most of my stamps, right? Just going to stamp off the excess, put it back. Reuse my stamp block. This is just a little note. Okay. Go back to my VersaFine. So again, do a little test run. Okay, if it doesn't come out the first time, I just try again just to make sure I have a good feel for this stamp. Okay, that first one needed a little more work, so the second one was good. All right, so this kind of gives me an outline of where I want to stamp, so I'm just going to kind of leave it on there so I'll know. Right there, I want it to be a little straight. Okay, I'm going to put a little pressure on it. Give the stamp time to transfer and pull it right back straight up. Just a little note, love. Okay. Now I think we can go ahead and glue this down and start placing our bigger flowers on this one. So in this one, I wanted to do a grid type format. I have a lot more room to work with. Okay, I'm just gonna kind of get the eyeball where I've got about the same amount of space all the way around. Top and two sides. Look a little more space at the bottom here. And this one, like I say, is gonna kind of look like a Polaroid, so there's a lot more space at the bottom than there is the top. So just kind of go, yeah, I'm gonna eyeball where this is the center from the top and the sides. Cute. And then what I envisioned here is that I would go through the rainbow and I would need 9 flowers. And we kind of lay it out like this. Yellow, a little greenish, and like my aqua blue. Can't get that one picked up. Navy, white, purple, dark purple, like this, and kind of make a little grid. This really reminds me of the first years of scrapbooking. We used to put things like this together. Ooh, that purple's not showing up very well for you on camera. Let me tilt it. Yeah, that looks a little better. You can kind of see that purple. Make my lamp here. Yeah, like that. So that's kind of a better representation. All right, so I'm going to go through here and glue these down and be right back. Okay, I've got mine all glued down. You can see the pretty colors here. I think this is a really cute card to send to someone. And you probably would want to put just another blank white piece in the center there to write on, but I think that's just real cute. So that's the 5x7 card. So let's do one that will fit into a business envelope. So the base that I cut was 8x9, so it's a pretty big base. Folded in half to make a 4x9 card. And the black I cut was 2.5 inches by 9, and then I cut a wave in it. And I'll show you how I did it. Of course, you can hand cut a wave, or if you have any of those fancy trimmers that has different blades on it, that'll cut it for you. I wanted to use some older products that I had, give some new life to them. So here's an oldie but a goodie, right, from Creative Memories. Remember they made these that had the oval and the circle cutters? Well, they also made this one that had some different, let me move my flowers. They made this little mat, and these that also go on it. Look how it's got like a little wave here for the ocean, or this long wave, or a straight cut, and it came with these little blades. So I thought, well, I might as well get that one out and blow the dust off of it. So I've taken this 2.5 by 9 sheet of paper, and I'm just going to kind of trim off the top in that wave form. So I'm going to kind of close to the top, get my blade and put it on here. And like I said, you can do this a lot of different ways. You might have a trimmer, or you might want to just take it and hand cut it. And that makes a really cool wave. That's just something different besides just a straight cut. Oh, of course, there's all kind of pinking shears or different scissors, right, with all those different edges on it that we used to use. So go back to my card base here. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue it down flush to the bottom. And then we're going to go back and add our flowers that we have put together. And I just want to remind you, if you make a black and white card, to please post a photo of it on our Facebook group, Lisa Wise Designs. I would love to see it and get some inspiration from you guys and inspire some of the others that are on that group. Okay, so that already like adds some sophistication to me with the black on the bottom. So now what I want to do is I'm going to add the flowers to the edges, and I'm going to add my sentiment here. So I need a Mother's Day card. The only Mother's Day I could find stamp, I'm shocked that I couldn't find one, is these teeny tiny stamps that say it in style. This is an old one from, let's see, from Close to My Heart. So what I'm going to do is kind of lay out where I think the flowers would land on this side and how much room I've got to work with. So what I want to do is kind of lay out the center of the flower that's got that black crystal in it to where this wave sits. So the flowers will go like this. So I have plenty of room to stamp Happy Mother's Day at the top. And hopefully it's going to be cute, even with a small stamp on it. But you know, you use what you got, right? In these days, that's what we need to do. we need to use what we have instead of running out and buying something, which I don't even know that you can run out and buy anything right now, to tell you the truth. Okay, I don't think that's centered. I'm going to center this up. Leave some room between the stamps. Okay, it'd be easier just to lay my stamp down and pick it up. Let go. Use my eraser so it won't stick to it. Then go and pick it up. There we go. Much easier. Should have done that to begin with. So I know I have never used this stamp before, so I definitely need to season it. Stamp it in a couple of times. And to make sure that it's a little bit straight on my block. That looks pretty good. So now I kind of know what room I've got to work with over here in this top right corner. So I'm going to kind of eyeball center, go straight down, straight back up. Probably should have removed those flowers first, because that could have been a disaster with these crystals hanging here. But it looks pretty good. No harm, no foul. So now all that's left to do is kind of plan this out. So with the red, the orange, the yellow, green, blue, and this purple. Yeah, that's kind of what I like. So I'm going to glue this down and come right back. Okay, I've got everything glued down, and I did break my rule of using odd numbers, but it looks good to me with these 6 on here in this kind of semi-rainbow format. So here is my slim card, the 4x9. It'll fit in the business envelope. And here was the 5x7 card. And lastly, here is the one that is like the standard A2 size card. So I really like how these turned out. I was able to make 3 different looks with the same supplies pretty quickly and 3 different size cards. So if you make one of these, like I said, please go on over to our Facebook group, Lisa Wise Designs, and post one, and let YouTube know that you enjoy these crafty videos by giving this video a thumbs up and hitting that bell to subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Mother's Day.